From the moment he was picked up, the tears didn't stop. He was so small, just a baby, barely 2 months old, his bones pressed against his paper-thin skin. He was cold, barely moving. His sugar levels were dangerously low, and life was slipping away from him second by second. He was held tightly in a warm blanket the entire way to the vet. His tiny body was placed near the heater. Soft words were whispered to him, words full of hope, full of pleading. Please, just hold on a little longer, because his life right then was hanging by a thread. When he reached the clinic, he was still breathing, but only just. He looked more like a shadow than a puppy, more gone than here. It was heartbreaking to see, and even harder to understand, how someone could let him reach this point. The woman who reported him said he belonged to her neighbors. They had gotten him as a gift for their son. But when he got sick, when his little body started to change from neglect, when his bones began to show and his fur disappeared, they just gave up. They didn't get help. They didn't try. They simply abandoned him, left him to struggle. Alone, wandering weakly near the house for days. That's when the woman decided to step in. He was named Tucu. He stayed in intensive care for 2 full days, hooked up to everything needed to keep him alive. Fluids, medicine, warmth, blood. His body was so weak, but somehow, somewhere inside, the tiniest spark of strength still flickered. During those 2 days, he wasn't left alone. He was held, cuddled, spoken to, the same way someone would care for a newborn child. And after all that, Tucu made his choice. He chose to stay. He chose to fight. He made it out of intensive care. 3 blood transfusions brought his hematocrit up from 7 to 24. It was still a battle, but it was progress. Little by little, he began to move again and try to sit up. Standing was still hard. His legs didn't want to support him, but he was trying, and that was enough. Tucu's body told the story of what he'd been through. Advanced mange had stripped away most of his fur. His skin was cracked, dry, and inflamed. Underneath, there was nothing but a starving frame, and every time someone looked at him, it was impossible not to think about what those people had done to him. Not with their hands, but with their coldness, with their complete lack of care. He didn't deserve any of it. No puppy ever does. But the past was behind him. With permission from the vet, Tucu was taken home to continue his healing. He started daily treatments, medical baths, ointments, creams, and moisturizers to soothe the skin that had suffered for so long. His caregivers applied everything with the gentlest hands, making sure he never felt fear again. Everything was done slowly, loving. Nutrition was another important piece. Tiny meals throughout the day helped him regain energy without overwhelming his fragile system. Bit by bit, his little body began to accept the food. He still couldn't walk, but every day there was a little improvement, a little more movement, a little more. They were going slowly, on purpose, because this little life had been through so much. He needed time to heal, time to feel safe, time to learn that the world wasn't always cold and cruel. There was a quiet understanding. Tucu may have never known affection before. No soft hands, no kind voices, He was seen as nothing more than a toy, then when broken, as trash to be thrown away. But now, all of that was the fear, the loneliness, it was left behind. What Tucu has now is a soft blanket, hands that hold, not hurt, eyes that see, not just as a dog, but as someone worth. Tucu's journey is not over. It will take more time for his skin to fully heal, for his legs to get strong enough to run, for his heart to fully trust that the worst is behind him. But he's surrounded by love, the kind of love that never, the kind that stays no matter how long the healing takes. And one day soon, Tucu won't just, he'll play and run and sleep curled up in the arms of someone who sees how special he is, from a puppy once to a life filled with care. And Tucu's story is still being, and this time, it will be